What's up, guys? Zekin here with a long promised video to my YouTube channel. I apologize for not have posting anything sooner. I was really trying to get this bravery victory that me and my friends had full pre-made. It was pretty sweet. But anyway, in this video we're going to talk today about the reasons I don't like solo queue. And I promise you that it's not going to just be this really long 10-minute rant or however long this video is going to be. It's pretty much just the phenomenon that I feel that's going on with solo queue, and the reasons why I don't like to play it and why I don't think it's a very valid thing to show for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really something that kind of really says how good you are at the game. Obviously, it kind of depends, but so anyway. Solo queue hasn't been around, or at least ranked even, hasn't been around for as long as people may think. There's been a huge influx of players in the past, I'd say about year or so, and people may say, well, duh, that's just people like joining and playing the game. But what I mean is, ever since the first DreamHack that they had, the first major DreamHack, and they had the end of season 1, ever since then they've been having this massive influx of players joining like crazy ever since then, and that's a great thing. Like, I'm not complaining about that at all. I mean, I think that's awesome. I'm really happy for Riot that they've been able to make a big name for themselves and to produce a really good quality game that people enjoy playing. My complaint that I have is that I don't know, I feel like they should have maybe given a little bit more instruction as to the purpose of ranked, or really an appropriate time to start playing ranked. The reason is because, okay, so let me just give you a little bit of background of my history with League of Legends. I started playing when I think Blitzcrank had just been released, or I'm not sure if it was Blitzcrank or if I think Gragas had just been released is who it was, and then it was Ezreal and Shen, I think. And so I've been playing, I think that was about 2 years ago. That's when I first started playing, maybe a little bit over 2 years, I don't remember. But and I've been playing pretty diligently since then. I did take a pretty big long break from League just to play like Halo and MLG and stuff like that and travel around for that. So I stopped at around 400 and something wins, which isn't a lot of wins, but right before I left to go do that, I think about, let's see, season 1, I'm not sure when that came out, and I'm sure you guys could do a timeline thing, but anyway, essentially what I'm trying to say is I'd been playing the game for a while since then, and I was, you know, a decent player. I was pretty average, but I was, you know, doing quite well against most players that were playing against me at around my same win-loss, or same wins or whatever, and so, you know, I felt like I was doing pretty good for myself, and then I heard that Ranked was coming out, and I was thinking, oh, cool, like, it's gonna be a great opportunity for, like, you know, me and some of my friends to really kind of show how good we are. But at this time, I think I only had about like 300 and something wins, and I said to myself, well, okay, like, I don't want to ranked right now because, like, I want to make sure I can get, you know, high enough elo that I can really kind of, you know, boast to my friends of how good I am or whatever. But I definitely need some time to learn, so I decided I'd probably aim for like the 500 win mark, and I started getting a little antsy, and I wanted to play it a little bit earlier than then. But I decided I was going to watch my friends do it because some of my friends wanted to jump on the ranked bandwagon, so to speak, earlier. Well, because of this like massive influx of players, who most of them like rushed to level 30 because they really wanted to play ranked. You know, because most of the players had joined by the time that ranked was out. Like, a huge amount of people came already when ranked was released, and so these players said like, oh, I really want to hit level 30 and just start learning the game in ranked and like starting to, you know, climb the ladder and stuff. And that's kind of the opposite attitude of me and my friends. We thought that ranked was going to be really challenging enough to the point where we really wanted to hone in on our skills, so that way we could first time shoot high, you know, and really kind of show our true potential that was above like 1300, and then, you know, kind of go from there. You know, because at that time we really wanted to shoot for like 1600, 1700 or something, because we felt like, you know, that's somewhere where we could be eventually or whatever. This is granted back in the day when like people weren't like 2700 rated and stuff. Like, I think 2400 and 2500 were the highest ranks and stuff. But so anyway, my friends started playing, and they all were quite good at the game for the most part, and they had a fairly decent amount of experience and game knowledge. But they started getting matched up against these brand new level 30s, or matched up with these brand new level 30s who had never really played the game that much. They had about like 130 wins or 120 wins, and they were already starting to do ranked. And it really, you know, brings the rest of their team down when they don't understand all of what an enemy, you know, champion can do to them. And so these players, like, I'll give a classic example to this, and I hope he doesn't mind me using his name. Rusty Ballbags. Now, Rusty Ballbags is a good friend of mine, and I met him actually in normal games way back in the day. I met him actually, I think, through my friend Constant Comment. And essentially, what happened was, you know, he was an extremely good Nidalee, and this is right when Hotshot GG was like the #1 guy in League. And I was like, dang, dude, your Nidalee's, I mean, pretty up to par with like Hotshots. It was getting pretty close, and there was no ranked, I don't think, or at least it was just released. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna really kind of, you know, see if I can shoot high in elo. And I think I quit the game. I came back, and he had about 1,500 wins or something. And this is when I'm at like 600 wins or sorry, 400 wins. So I'm thinking like, wow, he got really good since then. But he was at like 1,600 elo or 1,700 elo. And I was thinking, like, I've played against him, I've seen him play, I know he's incredibly good. And I think the time that he really started to shoot for solo queue and try and get high, he was on the Australian WCG team, and he went to WCG Korea, and he played. He got kind of bracket screwed. TSM and CLG were in his bracket, so they kind of got, you know, crushed in that. But they did pretty well the first couple games against either team, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway. He, for the longest time, always struggled getting up to like 1900 or 2K or platinum, if you will. And I always like really questioned that, because I always knew he was he's, in my opinion, the only 2K player who wasn't 2K. And now I know some people are probably saying like, oh, 2K is really not that good. And yeah, I mean, that's true. You do get these players who you question like, how the hell are they 2K? But to be honest, people do make mistakes, and it doesn't take away from the fact that like their game mechanics are still pretty solid, and they have a fairly decent understanding of the game. It's just sometimes those players don't care for whatever reason. But he, for the longest time, could not get 2K, and you know, finally I think he just got platinum. But it's crazy to me because he's beaten top pro players to get to where he is, and so I know he's good. But I guess to sum it all up, my biggest complaint about solo queue is just the fact that there's this huge index of players, some who really know the game very well, who are, you know, afraid to play solo queue because they're afraid that these really terrible new 30s are going to tank their rating. And then you've got, you know, those new players, and you've got, you know, people all in between. And, you know, 1300 isn't really just 1300, if you kind of get what I mean. That there are so many different players that sort of belong in that range, whether they be good at game mechanics and not know enough about the game, or vice versa. So that's my whole complaint. I was gonna let you guys just watch the rest of the video, but I'm pretty much just gonna wrap it up here, since this is like a 20-minute surrender. We pretty much just dominated them. But anyway, guys, that's essentially what I have to say about solo queue. I do plan on doing it pretty soon. Eventually, I want to get better at top lane, so because everybody and their mom wants AD carry. That's what I main, so there's not really much of a choice for me. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and tell your friends about it. I know it's a little bit more of a rant than I would have hoped, but that's just that's my whole feeling about solo queue. All in all, you know, it does show a player's ability to, you know, use their characters that they choose, but oftentimes it doesn't really have any indication of how knowledgeable they are at the game, or how, you know, good they actually are. Just because I don't think that being able to, I don't know, play Ezreal and QWER win everything is a really big demonstration of skill. But who knows? Anyway, guys, that's it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.